Welcome, Coyote fans. This is Paul Ferris, and behind me is my 2000 Mustang GT with the Coyote Aluminator. This is the update for May of 2014. Just want to go over some of the improvements and things I've been working on this past winter. A buddy of mine came along with an offer I couldn't refuse, a T56 swap from a TR3650 and some cash. I said yes to that, and I decided to do some much needed replumbing and rewiring. And so the underside of the car I've kind of rewired and done some improvements. So let's start at the back here. As you can see, I've got my my drive shaft, pardon me, my rear differential cover. I put a B&M on there and remounted my temperature sensor from where it was in the front up out of the fluid to in the back, down in the fluid. This also gains me a drain hole, which doesn't exist on the standard rear differential, and I get these jack screws which press against the rear bearing caps, and that makes the transmission stronger. I also get a filler hole that's up pretty high, and so just sort of a nice addition. I was having some leaking issues, as you might be able to tell from all this darkness. So my buddy Matthew Overbeek, who also has a Coyote swap in a 94 GT, he came over and he showed me how to do this rear pinion seal, which isn't that bad if you have an inch-pound torque wrench, which he does and I don't. Thank you, Matthew. As you can see, also I did this wiring different. It kind of snakes around a little bit more, and it's much more out of the way of harm's way. I've got a to-do here to get this fuel filter moved in, and I've got a way to do it. I'm going to be working on that today and getting that done. Let's go over got the exhaust put back on the car. Transmission, of course, is swapped in. I've got to get these zip tied up out of the way. The T56, unlike the TR3650, comes with a lower drain hole, which means I can hook up my temperature sensor just like the rear differential thing. For the transmission, I can hook my temperature sensor down in the fluid in the bottom, and this is the wiring for that. I also had to add a reverse lockout circuit, which required me to redo my wiring harness. So this entire wiring harness came off the transmission from underneath, which is a real chore. Going all the way to the front here, this is where some real madness is. Let me get the lights. Hopefully you'll be able to see this, because what I've gotten done here is a brand new wiring harness that comes off of what used to be the oil sensor, pressure sensors. I've got the Ford stock cutout switch mounted over here. Hopefully you can see it. The odometer is here, and then over here is a Summit Racing pressure cutout switch, meaning I can, if the car ever loses oil pressure, the engine shuts off, which is dangerous because maybe you'll lose brakes and power steering, but I think I can deal with it. You know, they say for racing application only. The fact is, you know, I just don't want to lose my illuminator over leaky oil pressure. And then given where this oil pan sits in the mix, it's not out of the realm of possibility. I've got to do something belly pan oriented. I haven't quite decided what that is. In the meantime, I've got to drive very carefully. You can already see the thing has got some scrape marks on it, probably from jacking the motor up and down, but still. Yeah, you can also get a good look at my plumbing under here. These are all the Hydro Boost lines, and I love the look of the UPRK member. It's truly a work of art. Those guys just make such beautiful stuff. It's got a much more fluid feel to it than the Maximum Motorsport K-Member. What else is going on here? I'll probably be yanking out this brace that I made for the wiper washer overflow today and get it painted and welded up. There's some welding to do there. And then upstairs there's also some bracket work and stuff. But you can see. And the other thing I did, I straightened up some of the way that these rear K-member bolts went in, because they just weren't the what do you want to call it? The washers that come stock with it just aren't big enough, so I put some bigger ones on. I changed the bolts for the X-pipe to shorty header connection, made them much stronger, larger bolts with, you know, they're stainless, of course. Just looks so much nicer. So you get a feel for it. It's coming along. Started and ran last night, did my leak down test. No leaks. Given all the plumbing that I had to do here, that's pretty phenomenal. I did take my time and did enjoy myself as much as possible. But I love how things are turning out. Hope you're enjoying the ride. I will have some video posted of me driving this crazy thing sometime in the next week or so, is my guess. On a nice sunny day. I would like to make a mount off of one of these bolts or off the lower portion of this differential for the camera, so that maybe the camera view is something like this, looking under the car. This is a little bit too high up in the mix, so I've got to figure that out. That'll be kind of cool. Driving and showing from underside the car, I figured out how to turn my GoPro on and off using the software they supply for, it's like an Android app. It's kind of cool. Hope you're having a good time. Talk to you soon.